And the final regular season doubleheader is already upon us as we welcome you into Hyde Stadium. John Winkler here on this Friday evening, and Post State takes on Spearfish to close out the 2020 regular season. What seems like just yesterday we were at Mitchell for that opening doubleheader. But Post State has an opportunity here to at least stay in the number 5 spot with a doubleheader sweep, although not everything is in their control to stay at the number 5 seed. We'll break all that down where they could even end up at 4. They could fall back to 6. There's a lot of different scenarios that could happen here tonight before we are all said and done that could move Post State around to the 4, 5, or 6 seeds here this evening. Post State taking on Spearfish, who they were going to be probably the number 16 seed unless they get a win here against Post State. But Spearfish has not won a Class A South Dakota game, but they are 10-17 and have won 5 in a row coming into tonight's game, not tonight's games, as they beat Belfouche and Douglas 5 straight times, dating back to the middle of July, all the way back to July 16th when this has 5-game winning streak has taken place. They beat Belfouche 8-2. They swept Douglas in a doubleheader, and then they swept Belfouche in a doubleheader to be sitting at 10-17 now. So they're playing some pretty good baseball coming in, and that's going to be key for them to continue it. But for Post State, they're looking to continue to score as many runs as they have in the last several games. They lost 16-15 to Mandan in 8 innings on on Wednesday, and then they won it 7-4 in game number 2. And here they're looking for a doubleheader sweep, and this is a must-have doubleheader sweep. If they do lose one of these 2 games, doesn't matter what else happens, they're going to fall back to the number 6 seed from number 5 spot. If they do win both these games, there's a combination of Mitchell and Aberdeen playing tonight and Sioux Falls East and Renner playing tonight that can tell you which way things are going to go. And I can tell you right now, the easiest, if they want to move up to number 4, Sioux Falls East has to sweep Renner. And then things get a little bit crazier depending on how things go for them to fall back to number 6 or stay at number 5. The most likely scenario, they stay at number 5. The best case scenario, they move up to number 4. Worst case scenario, they lose one of 2 games here and fall back to number 6, or they could fall back to number 6 even with the sweep, and then would have to face the number 11 seed on Tuesday here at Hyde Stadium for the region round. We'll break all that down throughout the broadcast here tonight. Post State and Spearfish coming up here in just a little bit. First pitch is scheduled for 5 o'clock. We'll step aside for 3 minutes, come back with more of the pregame show. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. And we're underway already here. 5 minutes early. First pitch was taken for strike one from Jack Van Camp to Lucas Mayman, the leadoff hitter for Spearfish. 0-1 is upstairs and now 1-1 here to the leadoff hitter for the Spearfish post 164 as that's fouled back. Now it's 1-2. Yeah, started 5 minutes early, trying to beat the rain a little bit here. It looks like it could potentially get to us at some point here. These two games, 1-2 is just a bit outside now. 2-2. Jack Van Camp is on the mound here for Opposed State, looking for another big win and to set the tone. Although he won't last very long, and everybody will be on a pitch count, and to make sure that they stay ready for this coming Tuesday. As the 2-2 again is fouled on a pitch that was almost by Mayman. He was able to foul it to the backstop over on the right side. So it remains at 2-2. Van Camp from the windup. Here comes the 2-2. Here to Lucas Mayman. That one is at the knees. Looked out for strike three, and that will retire Mayman. We open up the ball game with a called third strike. As then it'll be Ty Sieber, the first baseman. He'll be followed by Aiden Hout. Brock Penthony will bat fourth. Jonathan Bloom is the DH batting fifth. Connor Comer is the left fielder batting sixth. Brady Hartwig, the right fielder, batting seventh. Carter Lyon will bat eighth. He's catching Noah Malman as the center fielder as he bats ninth. First pitch is outside for ball one to Ty Sieber, the first baseman. Just two guys are on the bench. They have a DH, obviously, as just mentioned, and so they have 10 guys in the lineup, two guys on the bench. Not a big team here for Spearfish, as the count is now 1-1. As Ty Sieber, look at his numbers, the first baseman. The one pitch is a swing and a miss, and it's now 1-2. Sieber is batting .359 on the season. He's got 23 hits and 64 at-bats, 11 runs driven in. Spearfish has not hit a home run yet this year. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and there is going to be a throw down to first, and there's now two down on back-to-back strikeouts from Jack Van Camp. As we go around the horn here for Post State defensively, River Iverson is out in left field. Matt Lusk is the center fielder. A.J. Gayden out in right. Lincoln Keenel is the third baseman. Then Garrett Stout at short. Andrew Coverdale, the second baseman. Andy Gordon's at first. Kate Hinkle behind the plates. And Jack Van Camp delivers ball one to number three hitter Naden Hout. Here with two down and looking for a strikeout the side in order. .343 batting average. 11 extra base hits for Aiden Hout. Of his 24 have been 7 doubles and 4 triples. 19 runs driven in. He leads the team with those 19. Count is 1-1. Van Camp from the windup dealing with another left-hander in the order. Back-to-back lefties here from Sieber and Howden. It's now 2-1. Usually what Post State likes to do, throw back-to-back left-handers out in their lineup. 2-1. That one's low. Now 3-1. And Van Camp in danger of a 2-out walk. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That one is over at the letters, now 3-2. And Van Camp is a strike away from retiring the side in order. Here's the payoff pitch to Hout. That is on the outside edge and looked up for strike three. And it's a 1-2-3 inning, 3 strikeouts from Jack Van Camp. We have played half an inning. We have no score. Post State coming to the plate. You listen to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. As we welcome you back here to Hyde Stadium, bottom of the first inning, we go through the batting order here for the Eights. Garrett Stout will lead things off playing short. River Iverson will bat bat second and play left field. Andrew Coverdale, the second baseman, batting third. Andy Gordon's the first baseman. He'll clean up McGuire Rasky, the DH, batting 5th. Matt Lusk in center field, batting 6th. Lincoln Keenol's the third baseman, batting 7th. A.J. Gaines out in right field, batting 8th. And Kate Hinkle will round out the order as he is catching here for Post State. You're listening to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront broadcasting station as we've hit that 5 o'clock hour here on this Friday evening. Welcome to the weekend and welcome to Post State Baseball if you're just now joining us. So 3 strikeouts in a row from Jack Van Camp to open up the ball game as he struck out the side in order as we play here in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch from the pitcher Alex Sunstead is over for strike 1. Sunstead on the year, most innings pitched, 33 innings. He does not have a win or loss to his credit. I believe somewhere that has all been missed as Stout will fly it out to right field. Going back on it is the right fielder Hartwig. He'll make the catch, and the leadoff man is retired. Stout was looking for the leadoff home run and just missed it. And then bring up River Iverson. But Sunstead, he has to have some kind of record because the totals they would be 3-2 on the season. So that's somewhere they've lost track of wins and losses. He does have a save. He's given up 46 hits, 54 runs. Only 31 of those have been earned. 24 walks in 33 innings, 37 strikeouts in 33 innings. So he's averaging a little over a strikeout an inning. And then for his, he's got 6.576 ERA through those 33 innings. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Iverson. He'll wave and miss at that one. And it's now 1-1. Post State, they scored 22 times in the split against Mandan on Wednesday. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Iverson with a off-speed pitch will take it outside, and it's now 2-1. Sunstead, the right-hander, works from the windup. Here is the 2-1 pitch to Iverson. Swinging and a miss, and it's now 2-2. These are 2 winnable and must-win games for Post State to at least stay in that number 5 spot. Without having help all over, or not any help all over the state. As there's a strikeout of Iverson, there's now 2 down. Sioux Falls East and Runner, they've started their game, their doubleheader. As for Sioux Falls East, they have to get a doubleheader sweep of Runner for Post State to have a chance to move up to the number 4 seed, as the first pitch is outside for ball 1. And then it turns into what Mitchell and Aberdeen does as well. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Andrew Coverdale. The curveball that drops in at the knees, now 1-1. So again, Post State's coming in with a 25-16 record on the season. There's another off-speed pitch that drops in, and it's 1-2. East is hosting Renner here for tonight. The 1-2 pitch. Coverdale will turn on it and ground it foul. And that'll actually just get through and completely out of play. A little hole between on that third base side. A little gap in that found its way to go out of play. Here's the 1-2 again from Sunstead to Coverdale. Off-speed pitch. Coverdale pops it up. Coming in on us, the center fielder in Wallman. He'll run a long way. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. It's a 1-2-3 inning from Sunstead. We have not seen a base runner yet through the first 6 hitters. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. 1 complete. Post State and Spearfish are scoreless. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. As we welcome you back here to Hyatt Stadium, top of the second inning, it is Brock Pentheny, the second baseman, to lead things off. First pitch swinging, pops it up and foul out of play on the right side. There's quickly 0-1. 3 strikeouts in the first inning from Jack Van Camp. That's the only 3 batters he faced. And again, he'll stay in a pitch count. He'll stay to make sure that he is available come Tuesday and Wednesday of the region round. So he has to stay under that just only have 3 days of rest, tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday. We'll be here on Tuesday. The 0-2 pitch. That one's chopped at the plate, and then it's going to be foul. And Pentheny was in the way of Hinkle trying to field the ball. It actually ended up hitting Pentheny, but it was still a foul ball, and he was still in the box. So it remains at 0-2. Van Camp from the windup. Here's the 0-2. That one's fouled off of Hinkle, and it remains at 0-2. Pentheny comes in, batting .305. 2 triples so far in the season. The 0-2 just misses outside. Now 1-2. 13 runs driven in. Walked 10 times, struck out 15 times in 21 games played so far. Here's a 1-2. That one's fouled back, and it hits the top of the netting, and it stays in play. It goes right back towards the home plate umpire. So we'll do it again at 1-2. Clouds starting to form and make their presence around Hyatt Stadium. I haven't gotten into Pierre yet. The 1-2 pitch. There's a chopper to the left side. First ball put into play. Stout has the first opportunity. Wide throw. And Gordon comes off the bag. And it'll be a leadoff error for Pentheny. And is their first base run of the ball game. Jonathan Bloom, the DH, will come to the plate. So Van Camp didn't retire the first 4 guys he faced. So now he's got to work from the stretch with nobody out here in the top of the second. First pitch is over for strike 1. Here's Jonathan Bloom, batting .120 here on the season. Just his 13th game. The DH. 0-1 is right down the middle. Now 0-2. Just 5 runs driven in. 3 hits and 25 at-bats. 2 singles and a double. Here's the 0-2 from Van Camp to Bloom. There's a chopper on the right side that will go foul. Gordon's able to swipe at it. And we'll do it again at 0-2. Kind of watching that radar here. And, of course, as we go through this day, we have that slight chance of some severe weather. So if we do get any kind of severe weather, we will we'll tell you what the plan is. The 0-2 is a swing and a miss. Bloom was nowhere close to it. 4th strikeout of the ball game for Van Camp. Now here is Connor Comer. As again, the severe weather we'll have it on the Facebook page for sure. Might be on just the F2 FM stations, depending on where that storm is located. If we need to send everybody over to our YouTube channel to watch and listen so that we can have severe weather coverage on the AM station, we'll do that. Count is 0-2 as that one hits the knees. Connor Comer down 0-2 in the count, batting .237 coming in here to this doubleheader. 0-2, that one's just chopped foul. And it remains at 0-2 with 1 down here in the top of the second inning. Middle State wearing their throwbacks just like they did on Wednesday. Got a chance to wear on the road and here at home. 0-2 is on the outside edge and chalk up a 5th strikeout for Jack Van Camp. We've seen 1 ball put into play. But here now is Brady Hartwig. He tries to put a second ball into play, maybe get the first hit of the ball game for Spearfish. Would be for either team. First pitch is a swing and a miss. Bottom fell off that pitch, and Hartwig was way over the top, and the count is 0-1. Van Camp from the stretch. The 0-1 is on the outside corner, and now it's no balls and 2 strikes. Here to the number 7 hitter in the order. Runner on first with 2 away here in the top of the second. Van Camp from the stretch. The 0-2 runner is off. That one will bounce to the dirt, and a good pitch to take off was Pentheny as he'll take second base as it started to get away. Count is 1-2. Van Camp from the stretch. Here is the 1-2 pitch. On the inside edge at the letters, and another called third strike. Another 3 strikeouts to the inning for Jack Van Camp. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. After an inning and a half, there is no score between Pierre and Spearfish. Listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Here in the bottom of the second inning, no score. Post State looking for their first base runner, as they'll have 4, 5, and 6. It'll be Andy Gordon, followed by McGuire Rasky and Matt Lusk. And if anybody reaches base, it'll go to Lincoln Keenholz. Early help here for Post State. Sioux Falls East in the bottom of the first inning. They lead 3-0. It just ended the bottom of the first inning. And East has a 3-0 lead over the Renner Royals. And again, Sioux Falls East with a doubleheader sweep of Renner would move Post State. If they get a sweep here, it would push the Eights into 4th place. But if that doesn't happen, you look at then Mitchell and Aberdeen playing. They have not currently started as of yet. Maybe running a little bit behind schedule. Keep an eye on both those games. Now the first pitch to Andy Gordon is missed for ball 1. Gordon comes in with that 1 home run that he hit all the way back in game number 2 of the season, as the 1-0 is on the knee at the knees, and it's now 1-1. That was the first home run of the year in 2020 for Post State. 1-1 pitch. Another off-speed pitch that misses just a bit outside, and it's now 2-1. And again, region round will start on Tuesday. It will finish on Wednesday with the if necessary game. There's a ground ball through the left side and through the hole between short and third. And Andy Gordon will have the leadoff single here in the bottom of the second. And will be the first base runner for Post State, as it'll bring up McGuire Rasky. We saw him play first base, play in the field for the first time all season. I guess you shouldn't say all season, but the first time since his injury that happened pretty much at the beginning of the season. It happened on the Sunday, the first weekend of the season, or I guess the second weekend of the season. First pitch is upstairs outside for ball 1. Starting against that Renner team, and through just 1 inning, had to be relieved for Bennett Dean after he injured that arm. Dean had a very good outing, and since then has been a mainstay in the rotation for Post State, whether it's coming out in relief or starting a ball game. Count is 1-0 here to Rasky from the stretch. Sunstead will deliver. That one is upstairs and is now 2-0. Again, we're still watching radar a little bit, hoping that we can at least get this first game in here in the final regular season doubleheader. 2-0 pitch. There's an off-speed that will hit across the knees, and it's now 2-1. Already some plyo work. You can probably hear that work being done, passed and out of play on the right field side for Post State. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and Rasky will foul it back, and it's now 2-2. Can't see you exactly. It might be Garrett Stout that's over there. So Sunstead will come set from the stretch. Here's the 2-2. Gordon takes off. Rasky will line it into left field for a base hit. Gordon will round second and get to third base, as it will nearly get away from the left fielder, but Gordon's going to round third. He's going to try and score. There's going to be no throw. It's an RBI double for McGuire Rasky, and the hit and run works to perfection for Post States. As a 1-0 lead. Nice base running on by both of Rasky and Gordon. Rasky hit it where the shortstop might have had a chance if Gordon did not take off. Might have had a chance to leap to make the catch. Couldn't tell how high the ball actually got. First pitch to Matt Lusk is upstairs for ball one. But since there was no shortstop, Gordon, and then he was almost to second base by the time the ball got into left field. He was able to round second and head for third, and the left fielder and Comer struggled to cut the ball off in time, and Comer was able to score from first. 1-0 is over at the knees, now 1-1. Here to Matt Lusk, the center fielder. We'll see him throw a little bit today. We're going to see just about everybody throw, so that way everybody is ready for Tuesday. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one comes in and hits Lusk. And it's now first and second with nobody out. And that'll bring up Lincoln Keenholz. Another guy that we'll probably see throw, A.J. Gayden, who's on deck. He'll probably throw. I mean, it's all about making sure you get through these two games where everybody at the worst will have to take 3 days off, because that fourth day is when Post State will be back in action on that Tuesday. And then if you win that region round, you go to the Super Regional, which is 2 weeks, or excuse me, a week after that on that Tuesday. So everybody will be ready, because it's a full 7 days off, 6 days off between those games. So you can let someone ride all the way out to the 105 pitch count and not have to worry about the potential of them missing another game. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Keenholz was showing bunt, pulls it back, and it's taken for strike two. And no balls and 2 strikes to the third baseman, Lincoln Keenholz. Sunstead will come set from the stretch. Here is the 0-2 pitch. Keenholz will pop it up on the infield. If it lands in fair territory, it's an infield fly, and the catcher will not make the catch in foul territory, so it's just a foul ball. And there's a break for Lincoln Keenholz, and a chance to get a base hit with first and second and nobody out. That ball is 5 feet farther to the left of the catcher in Lyon. It lands in fair territory. It's an infield fly, and Keenholz is still retired. But instead, Keenholz can make him pay and increase that 1-0 lead. Here's the 0-2 from Sunstead to Keenholz. Both the runners were moving. That one's going to be a fair ball that lands right on the line. And it's a 2-0 lead here for Post States. Boy, that one just barely got the line down the left field side. And Keenholz, with both men in motion, were able to score McGuire Rasky to make it 2-0 on the RBI single. I don't even think less than an inch, half an inch, a centimeter, millimeter. I mean, it couldn't have gone any farther left without it being a foul ball. A.J. Gayden showing bunt. He'll drop it down towards the first baseline. No play to make except to first, and almost waited too long was the first baseman in Seabrook, but he was able to make the throw to the second baseman, Pentheny, covering. And there's now one down, but the sacrifice is good. And there's now one down for Cade Hinkle, the number 9 hitter in the order. A base hit could double the lead right now. A 2-0 advantage for Post State. Sunstead will go back to the windup when the runner's at second and third. Here's the first pitch. That one's on the outside corner for strike one. Again, 3-0 is our score for Sioux Falls East over Renner right now in the bottom of the second inning. That's a big lead here for East early on in that game. The 0-1 pitch. That one's fouled to the first base dugout. And the count is now 0-2. Hinkle again, we'll see maybe if he gets relieved at any point, although probably Stout would be the only other catcher that would come in. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one will come in and hit Hinkle, and the bases are now loaded here with one down. And that'll bring up Garrett Stout, as Lyon will make his way to talk with the pitcher in Sunstead. Comer's out in left field, Molman in center, and Hartwig in right. Mayman is the third baseman, Hout the shortstop, Pentheny is the second baseman, Sieber at first, Lyon behind the plate, and Sunstead having a word with his catcher and Carter Lyon. Just a brief talk as we return to baseball. Bases are loaded. One down. Here's Garrett Stout. He's already hit one grand slam. He tried to lead off the ball game with a home run. See if he tries to do it again here. Swing and a foul ball out of play on the left side. And several times that he's come to the plate. Haven't necessarily called that he was going to hit a home run, but have made reference to him hitting a home run in that spot. Here's the 0-1 to Stout. That one will miss, and it's now 1-1. Of course, he had a home run to end the ball game against a 10-run rule, and then he had a walk-off grand slam, and he had another home run against Mitchell to end the ball game. There's a fly ball out to center field. That's not going to be deep enough. The center fielder in Malman will make the catch. Runner will tag from third and Rasky. He will come in to score. The throw goes to third base, so staying at second is Lusk. And it's a sacrifice fly for Garrett Stout, and it's now 3-0 for the Eights. And then to bring up River Iverson, the eighth man to come to the plate. Here, that's 3-0 ball game. Base hit could make it 4-0. The speed of Hinkle at first. Be able to throw one down the line or in the gap. Quickly make it 5-0. First pitch to Iverson is over for struck out swinging his first at bat. The only strikeout so far for Sunstead. Yeah, 3 runs, 3 hits, and 1 error so far for Post State. No runs, no hits, no errors for Spearfish. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one showing bunt, pulling it back is Iverson. He takes ball 1. The count is even at a ball and a strike. Outfield straightaway. Here for the left fielder and River Iverson. The 1-1 pitch. Iverson will ground it back up the middle. Be fielded by the shortstop. He'll go the short way to tag the bag at second and end the inning here in the bottom of the second. We had 3 runs come to the plate on 3 hits in the inning. No errors and 2 men left on base. As we have played 2 innings, Post State leads Spearfish 3-0. You listen to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. As we head to the top of the third inning, it is a 3-0 lead for the Eights. As we'll have a 8-9-1 for Spearfish. Carter Lyon, Noah Malman, and Lucas Mayman to lead things off against Jack Van Camp. As again, we'll look through here and see where he's at in the pitch counts through 2 full innings. He does have 6 strikeouts, so that doesn't help his pitch count stay a little low. He has thrown 34 so far. The first pitch is missed for ball 1. So 35 pitches so far for Jack Van Camp. And again, this will be a spot where if they have to go get him in the middle of an at-bat so he can make sure he stays under that count so he can pitch on Tuesday, they'll go out and do it if it's a 3-0 count or a 3-1 count or whatever it might be. 1-1 is upstairs or outside, now 2-1. Although they'll keep Kelly Stout, who's run the game changer, pretty close, so he can tell them how many pitches throughout the ball game that each pitcher has. Count is 2-2 on the swing and a miss by Carter Lyon. He'll call time and regather himself. Van Camp from the windup, the 2-2. That one misses outside. The count is full. So far, the only base runner reached on an error. That kicked off the top of the second. Here is the 3-2 pitch. That one's fouled back and will remain full. No runs, no hits, and no errors so far for Spearfish. Just one base runner. Van Camp from the windup. Here is the 3-2 pitch. That one is looked at for strike 3 and chalk up the 7th strikeout of the ball game. And that'll bring up Noah Malman. So that is now the 5th called third strike of the first 8 hitters. 2 swinging strikeouts, 5 looking. Here's the first pitch to the number 9 hitter, Malman. He'll swing and miss to the first pitch. Malman's .293 batting average. He's got 17 hits and 58 at-bats. 15 of those 17 are singles. 8 runs driven in. Is susceptible to strikeout. Has struck out 19 times. 0-1, there's another swing and a miss. And Malman seems to be overmatched by that fastball of Jack Van Camp. And the count is now 0-2. On deck at the top of the order, and Lucas Mayman. Here's the 0-2 pitch. There's a chopper to the left side. Van Camp slides. Keenel's in the berry, and the throw to first is in time. What a play by the soon-to-be sophomore Lincoln Keenels. Van Camp slid, missed the ball. Keenels, all he could do was barehanded. The throw to first was a perfect one. And what a play by the third baseman and Lincoln Keenels. And there's 2 down here in the top of the 3rd inning. That is a highlight reel play by the third baseman. First pitch to Mayman is over for strike 1. Boy, that Keenels continues defensively to look like anything other than a soon-to-be sophomore. He's really confident with the glove out at third base. Made some terrific plays against Post 22 back in the Veterans Classic. And man, he made another. And this time he didn't even have to use the glove to make that fine defensive play. Here's the 0-2 to Lucas Mayman. There's a chopper that will be fouled towards the first base dugout. A lot of choppers. High hops right around the home plate area. Behind on the pitches has been Spearfish for the majority of these at-bats. Now here's the 0-2. That one's way outside. Past Hinkle, ends up hitting the brakes and goes back to Hinkle. And they'll throw it back to Van Camp. Count is 1-2. Van Camp looking for another strikeout, which would be his 8th. That one's fouled back, and it'll hit the fence right above the netting. So it still is an 1-2 count. Here is the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Van Camp will go down with another strikeout. That is his 8th of the ball game. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. 2.5 are gone by. 3-0. Here leads Spearfish. You're listening to Post State Baseball. Today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. We're here in the bottom of the third inning. Post State's looking to continue with that 3-0 lead and add on to the 3-0 lead, as it will be 3, 4, and 5. Coverdale, Gordon, and Rasky. And then to Matt Lusk if anybody reaches base. 8 guys came to play in the bottom of the second. They scored 3 times. Sunset still out on the mound here for Spearfish. Might have to turn the lights on here soon. The rain is starting to make its way, starting to get a little bit closer. Still far enough away. Maybe Coach White might be saying something to the home plate umpire about what the rain might be bringing. Lake County, they have a severe thunderstorm warning out until 6:30 now. Go ahead and look at that storm. Actually, that's a really big one, but Bennett, Millette, and Todd County out until 6:30. First pitch is over for strike 1. Here's the 0-1 to Andrew Coverdale. That one will miss just a bit outside, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. Coverdale flew out to the center fielder in his first at-bat. The 1-1 from Sunstead to the second baseman. There's a fly ball out to center field again, and that one's a little bit easier and a little less running for that center fielder in Molman to make the catch, and there's a leadoff man retired here in the bottom of the third. Check on some of the scores again as we look at that Sioux Falls East and Renner game. Sioux Falls East continues to lead 3-0. They scored all 3 of those runs in the bottom of the first. Here's the first pitch to Andy Gordon, who kicked off the second inning with a single. He came around to score. Are those 3 runs that scored for Post State? Here's the 1-0 pitch to Gordon. Upstairs, 2-0. On deck, McGuire Rasky. He doubled home Gordon in his first at-bat. Here's the 2-0 from Sunstead to Gordon. There's a hard shot. That one's underneath the glove and to the right of the third baseman. Andy Gordon's now 2 for 2. That was a hard shot with a hot corner at third base, and Mayman went a step to his left, and the ball kind of quickly cut back to Mayman's right, and he was unable to make the play. So it's a leadoff single here for Andy Gordon. McGuire Rasky is in a familiar spot with Gordon on at first, as he'll swing the first pitch and pop this one up into right field. Coming in as the right fielder in Hartwig. He will make the catch. Gordon's going to get back to first. The throw will come in late, and there's now 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Then we got Matt Lusk, who was hit by a pitch. He also came around to score. That was on the sac fly from Garrett Stout. We'll see if Gordon will get a steal sign here early on in this count with 2 away. The motion of the starting pitcher in Sunstead as the first pitch is over for strike 1 is not a quick one to home plate, and one that you kind of keep that, you can get a good cadence on. Takes about the same amount of time in between each pitch. Once he comes set, I'll check a couple of times. That one's a little bit quicker to home plate. There's a ground ball that will get foul, and it's actually going to get into fair territory, so they're going to have to retrieve that foul ball before we can get going again. Count is up to Matt Lusk. But the slide step for a right-handed pitcher becomes one of his best friends with a runner on base. We haven't really seen that out of Sunstead. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Coverdale or Lusk will ground it to the left side, fielded by the third baseman. Couldn't keep his balance in Mayman, and it's going to be an infield hit for Matt Lusk to keep the inning going. And here is Lincoln Keenels. Keenels is 1 for 1 with an RBI single. Made it 2-0. He was stranded at second base to end the bottom of the second. First and second here with 2 down. Here's the first pitch to Keenels. That one will miss low. A good stop by Lyon, the catcher. And it's 1-0. Waiting to see if we can get any kind of score update on the Mitchell game. As they're taking on the Aberdeen Smitties. There's a hard shot. That's going to get down for a base in the right center field gap. 1 run will come around to score. Keenels will head to second base. He'll slide in safely. The throw will miss the shortstop, but no, everybody else will advance. It's a 2-out RBI double for Lincoln Keenels. He's 2 for 2 with 2 runs driven in. And here now is A.J. Gaydon. Sack bunt in his first plate appearance. Looks like maybe Mitchell and Aberdeen are going to play just one game now and do not have the 5 o'clock game up. Gaydon will foul the first pitch over to the first base coaching box for Coach Nathan Nas to field, and it's 0-1. We'll talk with him in between games. Be interesting to see what his reaction is if this Sioux Falls East game stays the way it is. That one's skied out to center field. The center fielder in Woolman will camp underneath it, make the catch, and retire the side. Another run scores on an RBI double from Lincoln Keenels. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. After 3 completes, it is a 4-0 Post State lead over Spearfish. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Top of the 4th inning. And we have a new man on the mound here for Post State. As that will be Lincoln Keenels. As he looks to keep this a 4-0 lead for Post State. As we play here in the top of the 4th. And again, this is going to be a bullpen session for all these guys. As let's see if we can't get the totals of Jack Van Camp before we continue on with Lincoln Keenels. Ty Siebert, Aiden Hout, and Brock Pentheny will be the first 3 hitters. Van Camp went 3 innings with 50 pitches, 8 strikeouts, no hits, no walks. The only man that reached base was by an error, as the first pitch is over for strike 1 to Siebert, who was one of those 8 strikeout victims. There should be 7 different strikeout victims, as Mayman struck out twice to Jack Van Camp. Count is now 1-1. Jack Van Camp is out in right field. A.J. Gaydon is out over at third base. So for Post State, McGuire Rasky, his day is done. As JVC will enter in that lineup spot. There's a ground ball to the right side, fielded by Coverdale. The leadoff man is retired. Just the third time we've seen a ball put into play by Spearfish here in this ball game. Here's Aiden Houts, the shortstop. He's 0 for 1. He struck out looking to end the top of the first inning. Here's the first pitch. Maybe we'll foul it back. It's 0-1. Again, they have a severe thunderstorm warning out for Millette County. Of course, that's the fringe of our listing area. As it continues to move, we're seeing some activity that might be heading its way to Hyde Stadium. That pitch will come in and hits Hout, and he is on base. The first out by the pitching staff of the Eights. And here's Brock Bethany, who reached on an air in the top of the second. He was stranded on at second base. He stole second. That was the only way that he was able to get there because the other three guys that came up in the lineup, they all struck out. Here's the first pitch. That was over for strike one. Bethany 0 for 1 with that air. Everybody is 0 for 1, at least so far. Aiden House made at first base after being hit by a pitch. Here's the 0-1. That almost comes in and hits Bethany, but it's now 1-1. Play here at the top of the fourth inning. 4-0. Post States scored 3 in the second and 1 here in the third. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one just misses. Now 2-1. Post State's looking to go, if they can win these 2 games, it'll be 11 games over 500. That's popped on the right side. Gordon giving chase, and looks like he's going to run out of room as it stayed in play, but over there near the corner where that wall starts to jut out where they would bring the four-wheeler as the first baseman, and Gordon, Coverdale, and Jack Van Camp unable to make the catch. So it's now a 2-2 count. The runner on first base here with 1 down. 2-2 pitch from Keenholz. That was at the knees. Another strikeout, first of the game for Lincoln Keenholz, and there's now 2 down. Let him bring up Jonathan Bloom. Sounds like maybe a little bit of thunder starting to come through. So here's the first pitch. To make this an official game, I have to get to the top of the fifth inning. Otherwise, this gets chalked up to nothing happening. There's a pickoff attempted back in safely. As the runner at first in Bethany. And again, for Jack Van Camp, he went 3 innings of scoreless baseball. Count as 1-1. That pitch misses upstairs. 3 innings scoreless baseball. No hits, no walks, 8 strikeouts. The only man to reach base. And the 10 he saw. This would be the 11 that he saw. Nope, 10 he saw. That was a way by air. Swinging a miss and a pitch that was well outside the zone in the dirt, and it's now 1-2. A strike away from ending this half inning. Keenholz will appear in to Hinkle for the sign. Checks the runner at first. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one's outside. Runner's off for a second. The throw to second. And a scoop by Coverdale and unable to make the tag. So the count is now 2-2. And Bethany is in scoring position with 2 down. Bloom struck out swinging in his first at bat. How these guys did. 7 of the 9 struck out in their first at bat. Here's the 2-2. Misses low. Now 3-2. Runner on at second base now, so he won't get a head start. He'll have to stay put. Obviously, he'll be in motion once the ball is put into play. Keenholz from the stretch. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and a pitch in the dirt on the curveball, and Hinkle will throw to first to retire the side. Second time that Bloom has been retired on a strikeout, and that will end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. After 3.5, Post State leads 4-0 over Spearfish. You listen to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning, Post State has a 4-0 lead as they will have 9-1 and 2. And Hinkle, Stout, and Iverson to lead things off for the Eights. Trying to extend this 4-0 lead, and as the rain starts to get a little bit closer here to the Pier and Fort Pierre area towards Hyde Stadium. Again, we have to get through that fifth inning to make it an official game. And they right now will have to get through 6 more outs. You know, Post State could put up a 6 spot and then get 3 more outs and take game 1 in 5 innings as it is. But you got to get through that at least the top of the 5th. With Post State right now winning 4-0. And talk here in a second about what the regions and super region will look like. First pitch to Hinkle, misses for ball 1. So the 16 teams that are in Class A, they will all make the playoffs. And the top 8 seeds will host the bottom 8 seeds, the best of 3. The 1-0 pitch, that one is at the letters, now 1-1. So right now, Post State sitting at the number 5 seed. They would host the number 12 seed in a best of 3 here July 28th, which is Tuesday, in a doubleheader. If they split the doubleheader, ball bounces in, now 2-1. They will come back on Wednesday and play that 3rd game. And the winner would advance to the Super Region on August 3rd and 4th. That's the following Tuesday and Wednesday. And they will reseed, which the top seeds, if they all stay in place, and there is no reseeding, but any upset will force, if the 11 seed would beat the 6 seed, then the 7 and 8 seed would jump up a spot, just like you see in the SODAC 16 for Class A and B for basketball. The 3-1 is outside, a leadoff walk to Cade Hinkle. You get those SODAC 16s in the top 16, obviously, are there, seeded 1 through 16, but they get reseeded after that SODAC 16. AA does not reseed, but here in Class A for South Dakota Legion Baseball, they reseed. This is the only year that they're going to do this because they're trying to limit how many teams are going to be at a state tournament. Hinkle tries to steal second. That throw is going to go off of Hinkle. He's going to stay there at second base off the steal, and it is Hinkle on at second. Count is 1-0 to Garrett Stout. But then they'll have that super region on the 3rd and 4th. And again, the top 4 seeds will host the bottom 4 seeds that remain. And then those 4 winners will advance to the state tournament. As Stout lines one sharply in the right center field. That's down for a base hit. It's going to roll all the way out to the wall. And Stout will round second. He's going to try and head for third. He's going to have himself an RBI triple as the throw comes in. And it's now a 5-0 lead as Stout is now 1 for 2. His second RBI of the ball game. And chalk up another triple for Garrett Stout. And the interesting thing is, as River Iverson steps to the plate, Post 22 has started their renovation. They started this past Monday, after the Veterans Classic was over. 1-0 pitch is the first pitch is bounced in and counted as 1-0 here to Iverson. And Post 22 will not host the state championship tournament. They're going to probably be the top seed in the state. So, and then we'll go to the next highest seed. I believe that's what they're going to do, is go to the next highest seed for then who will host. So it could be interesting. We could find ourselves back in Brandon, who were supposed to host this year as it was, as the 2-0 is fouled back. This round of 16, the region round, is what we're going to see going forward. No more region tournaments. It'll be the region round will be a SODAC 16 type format with a best of 3. The 2-1 pitch. There's a fly ball out to left field. Stout will try and tag as a left fielder will make the catch in Comer, and Stout got off the bag too early and had to go back. So Iverson does not get the sac fly, and there's one down. And that'll bring up Andrew Coverdale. Coverdale's flown out to the center fielder twice. He's 0 for 2. 5-0 is our score here in the bottom of the 4th. So then, as you talk about again, the top 16 seeds going into next year, or I guess I shouldn't say the top 16, but those 16 teams, those 8 winners out of that region round, then will qualify for the state tournament. So you could see Post 8, Mitchell, Post 22, and Post 320. We've had years where all 4 of those teams could be the 4 highest teams. There's a foul ball on the right side. Diving for was a second baseman, Penthany, and couldn't get there in time. So the count is now 0-2 to Coverdale. I mean, there's been years where those 4 teams were 4 of the best in the state, but only 2 could qualify unless one of those 4 were hosting. But now all 4 of those, and they would have to play each other. If they're the top 4 seeds, they would play the bottom 4 seeds, and all 4 could be in the state tournament. So now here's the 0-2 pitch from Sunset to Coverdale. There's a fly ball out to right field coming in. Right fielder. He can't make the catch. He's going to get behind him. And Coverdale, he's going to round first and head for second. The right fielder in Hartwig will pick it up. Coverdale's rounding second. He's going to get to third base. And it's going to bring in Garrett Stout. And we'll see what the scoring is on that one. And give him a hit, and it's going to be a triple for Andrew Coverdale and an RBI. And here's Andy Gordon. So 2 triples in the inning. An RBI each. Here's the first pitch to the first baseman. Swing and a miss. We're a little tad behind on that pitch. Count is 0-1. Gordon is 2 for 2 with 2 singles so far. Here's the 0-1. There's a swing and a miss. Coverdale will come in to score as the pitch gets behind the catcher and Lyon. And it's now a 7-0 lead. Bases are clear with 1 down. Jack Van Camp, he is on deck as he comes into the ball game to hit for McGuire Rasky as he stayed in to play right field. The fly ball out to right field. Coming in on will be the right fielder, and Hartwig will make the catch, and there's 2 down. And then I'll bring up Jack Van Camp. As we again check in on the Sioux Falls East and Renner game, 4-1. East leads after 4.5. They're going to the bottom of the 5th inning. East the home team, so they can extend their lead. And they're 6 outs away from beating Renner in game 1, which, well, that's a good start halfway to that sweep. That could propel Post 8 into that 4 seed, which then they would be able to host both rounds, wouldn't have to leave the comfort of Hyde Stadium to try and qualify for the state tournament. Count is 1-0 to Sunstead. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a ground ball to the right side, fielded by the first baseman, Sieber. He'll step on the bag and retire the side in the bottom of the 4th. 3-run score here in the inning on 2 hits, no errors, and no one left on base. We have played 4 complete. It is a 7-0 lead for Post 8 over Spearfish. You're listening to Post 8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Top of the 5th inning as Lincoln Keno's on for his 2nd inning of his bullpen work. First pitch is fouled back and out of play. It'll get over the press box, and it's 0-1. Here for Spearfish, it is going to be 6, 7, and 8. Connor Comer will lead things off. He'll be followed by Brady Hartwig and Carter Lyon. 0-1 is at the knees, now 0-2. We'll be here on Tuesday for sure for Post State hosting that first round of the region. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And that is looked at for strike 3. And Comer goes down on strikes. And that'll bring up Brady Hartwig, who was 0-4 with a strikeout. He was also called out on a third strike. Keenel's now with 3 strikeouts, 3 in a row to go back to that last inning. First pitch is missed for ball 1 to Hartwig here in the top of the 5th inning. We can get through this half inning, and then if any delay might happen, we can say if we have to wait long enough, we can probably say let's end game 1 and start game 2, as we'd have an official game in the books here in 2 more outs. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Now 1-2. Or if Post State can score 3 more times in the bottom of the 5th inning, first game a little early. And we get that second game started in time. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and Keenel's now with 4 straight strikeouts. And then bring up Carter Lyon. Lyon's 0-for-1. He looked at strike 3 to open up the 3rd inning. Stray bullpen ball comes down to the third base coaching box. First pitch to Lyons over for strike 1. Lyon be followed by Molman. 8-9, but there's 2 down here in the top of the 5th. The 0-1 pitch. There's one back towards the mound. It'll roll to the second baseman, Coverdale, and he bobbles it, and it's going to be another error by Post State. One that Coverdale had to quickly get moving early. But he did not make the play. And it's another error by Post State. They're second in the ball game. And here will be Noah Molman. He grounded out toward the third baseman. Van Camp tried to make that sliding mound, but Keenel was able to bare hands. The first pitch will go over for strike 1. You are listening to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront broadcasting station. 7-0 here in the the top of the 5th. The 0-1 pitch is just above the letters, now 1-1. Final 2 games of the regular season here for Post State, as they sit at 25-16 on the year. The 1-1 swing and a miss, and it's now 1-2. Keenel's with 4 strikeouts, looking for his 5th strikeout in his 2 innings of work. You can see where he sits at in pitch count wise after this inning is over. See if he has 1 more inning to go for Post State. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Keenel's gets another strikeout. His 3rd of the game. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. After 4.5, it is a 7-0 lead for Post State. You're listening to Post State Baseball, and today is KCCR, and today is KCCR.com. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, Post State can put up a 3 spot and end this ball game here in the bottom of the 5th with a 10-run rule win. They lead 7-0. over Spearfish in game one of this doubleheader. Lincoln Kenols with just 28 pitches so far in his 2 innings of work. Jack Van Camp went 50 in 3 innings. And I would think that 50 pitch count is where they're going to try and get these guys out of the ball game. So if Kenols can continue to throw well, he might be able to go to the top of the 7th, through the top of the 7th, if we have to go that far, if Post State isn't able to score at least 3 more runs here in the next 2 at-bats. Matt Lusk will lead things off. He's been on base twice. He singled in the 3rd inning, was left stranded over at third base. As the first pitch from Sunstead comes in, misses low for ball 1. Look over at Sunstead. He's got 61 pitches here to play in the bottom of the 5th inning. The 1-0 pitch. Lusk will chop it foul. And it's now 1-1. So he has stayed relatively low in the pitch count, even though he's given up 7 runs so far here in this 7-0 lead for Post State. Again, scores elsewhere. That Renner Sioux Falls East game, keeping a big eye on that. 4-1 is the score. Sioux Falls East over Renner in the top of the 6th inning. 1-1 pitch. That one bounces in now. 2-1. I mean, that would be a really big win for Sioux Falls East for themselves, but one that puts Post State in a little bit better position because now if Sioux Falls East can go back and get a doubleheader sweep, all of a sudden it's Post State's opportunity to sneak into that 4th spot and be a top 4 seed to host both the 1st and 2nd round. 3-1 pitch is grounded through the hole on the left side for a base hit, and Matt Lusk will lead off the bottom of the 5th inning with a single. And that'll bring up Lincoln Kenols, who is 2 for 2 with a single and a double and 2 runs driven in. As it Dahl's the pitcher for Renner. Look at Sioux Falls East. Lounsbury has thrown at 5 2/3 so far. Check at the out-of-town scoreboard. Mitchell and Aberdeen, they're scheduled for a doubleheader, but all we're seeing now is that they're going to play at 7 o'clock. Lusk is off with the first pitch. Kenols will swing and miss at the pitch well outside of the zone. And Lusk will steal second easily. There was not even an attempt of a throw. So the count is 0-1. As another bullpen ball comes out from right field. And Lincoln Kenols, who is on the mound or is throwing for Post State right now, he's up to the plate. He was the one that fielded it and threw it back. The 0-1 pitch is outside now, 1-1. So he's aware that somebody is warming up in the bullpen. Yeah, double barrel action looks like for the A's. Elliott Life looks to be one of those two. A.J. Gaden, the other one. 1-1 will miss, and it's 2-1. Yeah, Garrett Stout and Elliott Life, the two that are warming up in the bullpen right now for Post State. A.J. Gaden, hopefully he's not out there because he's on deck, and he's sitting right there on deck. Hard to see all the way down there, obviously. 1-1 pitch. 1 miss, and it's now 2-1. Well, at least for me, it's a little bit tougher to see. But there's plenty of things that make it a lot tougher for me to see. Count is 2-1 to Lincoln Kenols. Lusk is on at second. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. 2-1 is a looping curveball that drops in for a strike, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 7-0 is our score here in the bottom of the 5th inning. A 3 spot here in the 5th will give Post State the win. There's a ground ball to the left side, fielded by the shortstop. The throw is going to go to first as Lusk took third. He had no hesitation to go to third. The shortstop and Hout had an opportunity maybe to throw the ball to third base to get Mayman out, but instead the Kenols is thrown out at first, and he is down for the first out in the bottom of the 5th. We'll have a pitching change here at Hyatt Stadium as the right fielder in Hartwig will come into pitch. We'll tell you all the changes after this break. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Brady Hartwig is the new man on the mound for 164. Hartwig coming in with 25 innings pitched. He's given up 34 runs, 23 have been earned in those 25 innings. This is his 9th appearance. A 6.44 ERA, 12 strikeouts to 13 walks, so he doesn't walk a whole lot of guys. His whip, though, is 2.48. So in 49 hits and 25 innings, just about 2 hits per inning. So A.J. Gaden will be the first man to greet him, then be followed by Cade Hinkle and then Garrett Stout. Have a combination along with Matt Lusk. 2 of those 3 guys score. Post State will win the ball game with a 10-0 win here in 5 innings and get set for game number 2. You're looking for severe weather coverage on your Riverfront Broadcasting stations over on Capital City Rock and at Country 95.3. News Director Zach Nelson has severe weather coverage as well as the today's KCCR Facebook page as they have that severe thunderstorm warning out for Millette County until 6:30. Rain trying to stay away here from the Pierre and Fort Pierre area. See if we can't be lucky enough to have that stay out away from us. The first pitch is outside for ball 1. 7-0 here in the bottom of the 5th. 7 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors so far for Post State. The 1-0 is on the outside corner now, 1-1. You can hear that thunder just a little bit. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one's grounded back to the mound, fielded by the pitcher in Hartwig. He'll throw to first to get Gaden and to retire him. He's now 0 for 2, and that'll bring up Cade Hinkle, who is looking to not get hit by a pitch for the 3rd straight at-bat or plate appearance. He was hit by a pitch in the 2nd and in the 4th. Came around to score in the 4th inning. A base hit would bring Garrett Stout up to the plate and allow him a chance to potentially win a ball game for the 3rd time. Actually, excuse me, I say 4th time. He's already won it 3 different times. First pitch is fouled away by Hinkle. It is 0-1. Hartwig will work from the stretch. Here is the 0-1 pitch. There's a fly ball out to center field. Molman will make the catch and retire the side here in the bottom of the 5th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. 5 are in the books. Post State has a 7-0 lead. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Here at the top of the sixth inning, as it will now be Garrett Stout on the mound for Post State. He'll probably throw the final 2 innings, as Lincoln Keenels will go from the mound to shortstop. The only position changes for the Eights on that move. Watching the Sioux Falls East Runner game. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Sioux Falls East leads Runner 4-1. And so they're an out away here from picking up a Game 1 win, which would put Post State now into a pretty good position. Because if East sweeps Runner, Post State has to just win these ball games, and they will be the number 4 seed. And Runner does go down in Game 1. 4-1 East over Runner in game number 1 of that doubleheader. That is a big first win for Sioux Falls East. And now a second win is on the line here for East, and Post State could find themselves be the number 4 seed. First pitch is over for strike 1. Did all those calculations this morning, so hopefully they're all correct. So don't quote me if I say this happens and it actually doesn't happen. The count is now 0-2 on a swing and a miss. Can't get too angry with me. But here's the 0-2 now from Stouts to leadoff hitter in Maimon, and it'll go down on strikes for the 3rd time. 3 pitches and a strikeout. And Maimon is 0 for 3 with a hat trick. And that'll bring up Ty Sieber. Sieber is 0 for 2. He struck out swinging, also grounded out to the second baseman. First pitch is over for strike 1. Baseball that made its way behind home plate. And it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Sieber. Goes upstairs now, 1-1. Stout likes to work quick. Saw him throw a complete 5-inning shutout against Mitchell. There's a ground ball. Well behind it was Sieber. That was actually a ricochet off and get into fair territory. So Riverson out in left field will go track that ball down. So for Post State to be the 6th seed and still win these 2 ball games, Mitchell and Aberdeen. Mitchell has to stay under 500, which if they were only playing 1 game against the Smitties. And that one is over for strike 3, and it's back-to-back strikeouts for Stout to open up the top of the 6th inning. But if they only play 1 game, Mitchell would have to go 2-0 to stay over 500. If they go 1-1, they'll play Brandon Valley tomorrow in a 1-game matchup. Aberdeen would stay under 250 if they just win 1 game anyway. And then Renner and Sioux Falls East split. Pierre would drop down to the 6th seed. And if that's the only way that they would drop down the 6th seed. If Mitchell goes 2-0, they will stay at the number 5 seed, as there's a ground ball to the second baseman, and Coverdale will first is in time, and Hount is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. After 5.5, it is 7-0 here for Post State over Spearfish. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Bottom of the 6th inning, it is the top of the order for Post State. Garrett Stout, River Iverson, and Andrew Coverdale. When he reaches base, so then we'll go to Andy Gordon. 7-0 is her score. Post State with 7 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors in the ball game. Spearfish, no runs, no hits, and no errors so far. And with Hartwig still on the mound, Garrett Stout, he would have had a chance if Hinkle had reached base. Garrett Stout would have had an opportunity to end another ball game for the 4th time, but instead he will lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. He could hit a lead-off home run, but the inning would continue. Time called, and the right field. Every time that umpire calls time without anything really happening around home plate, I'm a little nervous. They're going to put us into a weather delay. Here's the first pitch to Stout, and that one will bounce in for ball 1. Stout is 1 for 2 so far. He flew out to right field in the first. He had a sac fly out to center in the second, then shot the right center field gap for a RBI triple back in the 4th inning. The 1-0 ended just foul past the first base bag, and it's now 1-1. The ball got near fair territory, so the right fielder will pick it up. Count is 1-1. Due up in the 7th inning. It is 4, 5, and 6. Spearfish still looking for their first base hit going to the top of the 7th inning. 1-1 will miss. And it's now 2-1. Looking for a combined no-hitter. I'm not jinxing it. I'm just throwing out facts. No hits in the ball game so far through 6 innings from Spearfish. Fly ball by Garrett Stout out to right field, going back, still going back, turning and watching it sail for a leadoff home run at the bottom of the 6th. And Garrett Stout has done it again. An 8-0 lead now for Post State. As Garrett Stout touches them all, sneaking it over the right center field fence. What he could have done in the bottom of the 5th inning if he would have got the opportunity. It would have been a 10-0 lead. But instead, it's now just 8-0, and Stout will take that home run again. First pitch is fouled back by River Iverson, as Iverson is 0 for 3 so far. Hearing that Mitchell is beating Aberdeen 12-1 in game number 1. The 1-1 pitch. There's a ground ball to the left side, fielded by the third baseman. Maimon. The throw to first is not in time, and another infield single for River Iverson. So here is now Andrew Coverdale with a runner on first and nobody out. So Mitchell leading Aberdeen. We already saw Renner fall in game 1, and that doubleheader sweep of Sioux Falls East would have Post State with their doubleheader sweep of Spearfish have to finish off this game and also win game 2, but that would propel them to the number 4 spot. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's popped up, fouled out of play, and it'll get away from the press box. And it's now 0-2 here to Coverdale. He represents the winning run. Iverson on at first base. Coverdale followed by Gordon and Jack Van Camp. As the 0-2 is on its way. There's a ground ball on the right side. Jumping over the top of it was Iverson. It's in the right field for a base hit. And Coverdale is now 2 for 4. He has got 2 legs of the cycle completed. And that'll bring up Andy Gordon. Stout now has 2 legs of the cycle completed, the 2 hardest ones, and a triple and a home run, although does not look like he's going to get an opportunity to try for even a 3rd leg. Because we're playing here in the bottom of the 6th inning. If he comes back, he will not be able to come back to the plate here in the bottom of the 6th without the ball game ending. First pitch by Gordon. That's out to right field. Is it going to land in fair territory, and it will drift foul. which would have driven in Iverson to make it 9-0. But it's 0-1. Gordon is 2 for 3 with 2 singles so far. He can end the ball game here with a long, deep drive over that left field wall. Have a conference out on the mound for Hartwig and Lyon. Count is 0-1 here to the first baseman, Andy Gordon. Outfield straight away for the first baseman. 8 runs and 12 hits here for Post State's. Hartwig will come set from the stretch. Here is the 0-1. Is at the letters, now 0-2. As we actually have a new man on the mound for Spearfish, as time was called by Gordon. McMillan is on in relief. The 0-2 will come in and hit Gordon. The bases are now loaded. And a base hit could win the ball game now, as Jack Van Camp, who's 0 for 1, will step to the plate. Nobody outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 8-0 is the lead here for Post State. First pitch from McMillan to Jack Van Camp. There's a line shot in the right field. Moving over, making the catch. Iverson will tag. Coverdale will tag as well. And the two guys advance 90 feet. Iverson comes in to score the sac fly, and a base hit now will win the ball game. As it brings up Matt Lusk, who is 2 for 2. The sac fly, 1 down. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, as we've hit the hour-and-a-half mark in this first of 2 to finish out the season. First pitch from McMillan to Lusk is over for strike 1. And again, for those that are listening, waiting for severe weather coverage, have it over on Country 95.3 as well as Capital City Rock. That one is a floater that's not going to get to the outfield, and it's going to be caught by the third baseman in Mayman. There's now 2 down, and that'll bring up Lincoln Keenholz, who can end the ball game with a base hit. So far, maybe just a couple of sprinkles have landed here at Hyde Stadium. Kind of watching the weather here, making sure hopefully we can get through these 2 games. McMillan's the first pitch to Keenholz is over for strike 1. 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th. A 9-0 lead for the Eights. The 0-1. Keenholz will chop it at the plate, and it's going to roll foul as it took a hop right near the lip of the infield on that third base line. Count is now 0-2. Spearfish trying to give themselves one more shot. They get this third out. They have an opportunity, and they need a big rally. I've only seen 2 base runners so far, but it's going to be 3 base runners so far, and they're trying to find a way to find a rally. Here's the 0-2 to Keenholz. There's a pop-up on the right side. Drifting into foul territory. The first baseman will make the catch in Siebert, and we will head to the top of the 7th inning. 2 runs score in the inning on 3 hits. A solo shot from Garrett Stout, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We head to the top of the 7th. Post State needs 3 outs to win game number 1. They lead 9-0 over Spearfish. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Top of the 7th inning, Post State with 4, 5, and 6. Brock Penthe, Jonathan Bloom, and Connor Comer to lead things off as they need 3 outs to finish out this ball game. 3 base runners far. Only 3 base runners so far for Spearfish. Here's Penthe need to take ball 1. Post State looking for a combined no-hitter. The 1-0 is a swing and a miss, and it's now 1-1. Bethany is 0 for 2. He reached on an error. They also struck out looking. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and it's now 1-2. Stout quickly working. 1-2 pitch outside, 2-2. Does not take a whole lot of time. Does Garrett Stout in between pitches. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That is over for strike 3, and another strikeout for Garrett Stout, his 3rd here in the ball game. And there's the first out here in the top of the 7th. 17 strikeouts combined here for Post State, with 1 down in the top of the 7th. Here is Jonathan Bloom taking the place of Bloom in the DH spot after he went to play the field. Count is 0-2. So Bloom went 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. And Sunstead is down at 1-2 in the count. Here is the 1-2 pitch from Stout to Sunstead. That one just missing. Now 2-2. Stout, so far he's retired the first 4 men he faces, and that make it 5 in a row that he's faced. Another called 3rd strike, and Post State now is out away from winning this ball game and having themselves a combined no-hitter against Spearfish in game number 1. Between Jack Van Camp, Lincoln Keenholz, and Garrett Stout. First pitch is a swing and a miss from Comer. The left fielder here in game number 1. The 0-1 is upstairs, and it's now 1-1. Wind's starting to pick up here at Hyde Stadium. 1-1 pitch, upstairs, 2-1. So again, after Sioux Falls East, they beat Runner in game number 1. The 2-1 is outside, now 3-1. If they can recreate and sweep Runner, Post State would move to the number 4 spot in the seed points. Here's the 3-1. Swing and a miss. Now 3-2 and a strike away from a shutout. So a combined 3-pitcher shutout and a combined no-hitter. 3-2 pitch. That one's upstairs. And the first walk issue of the ball game from Post State. Had 2 errors and also hit batters. Been the only 3 guys that reached base until that 2-out walk. Here is Brady Hartwig, who is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. First pitch is upstairs. Stout's got to find it here. All he needs is just 1 more out. 9 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors for Post State. No runs, no hits, no errors for Spearfish. Now 2-0. And what could drive Coach nuts is seeing walks here in the 7th inning. 2-0 is over for strike 1. Took something off of that pitch. You can tell he tried to just throw it over the plate for a strike. Here's the 2-1. Another all speed is now 2-2. And again, Post State a strike away from a combined no-hitter. Stout will work from the stretch. Runner on first here with 2 down. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, and there is a combined no-hitter for Post State. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. And it is a 9-0 win for the Aces in game number 1. Back in 3 minutes, we'll have a conversation with Coach Nas here in the postgame. Listen to Post State Baseball. Today is KCCR, and today is KCCR.com. It is a combined no-hitter for Post State as they win at 9 in game number 1 over Spearfish as we wait for Coach Nathan Nas to make his way up for game number 2 as the Eights will now be at 26-16 and a big win from also Sioux Falls East that helped out for Post State. Could help out for Post State because if they can get that second win, they would then put Post State in the position to be the 4 seed heading into the playoffs starting this coming Tuesday. They won 4-1 over Runner in game 1. They will have that second game starting shortly. Time of the ball game with that first one was 1 hour and 38 minutes as we have that box score for you. It was no runs, no hits, no errors, 4 men left on base for Spearfish, 9 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors, and 7 men left on base for Post State in that first game as they won it 9-0. It was Jack Van Camp that threw the first 3 innings. Then it was followed by Lincoln Keenels throwing the next 2. And then Garrett Stout finished out the no-hitter, throwing the final 2 innings. As we can go through their stat line. As for Post State, we get this pulled up. It was 3 innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, 8 strikeouts from Jack Van Camp, 5 strikeouts from Lincoln Keenels in 2 innings of work. And for Garrett Stout, he had the lone walk issued from Post State, but also had 5 strikeouts in his 2 innings for 18 strikeouts overall. Van Camp threw 50 pitches, Keenels threw 28, and then Stout threw 31 in his two innings of work as we bring in Coach Nathan Nas for a post-game interview. I guess also a pre-game interview of game number 2. But, Coach, hey, combined no-hitter from those Van Camp and Keenels and Stout. That's what you kind of want to see. That's especially after on Wednesday, too many walks in that game. Here you only threw 1 walk, had 18 strikeouts. Love to see that night in and night out.
Yeah, and that's what we talked to the guys about was they all knew that they're going to have short outings on the bump. And that's what we told them, like, hey, this is playoffs, so get up there, get it done, carry a playoff mentality, and attack
all game. And Garrett Stout, another home run. You get some quality at bats, and I mean these are games against Spearfish who, when you look at the standings, they're at the bottom of the standings, and it's easy to overlook them, to take every at bat for granted, to not really have too much concern in this game. But this was a very business-like win for you guys in game 1.
Yeah, and that's what we talked to the guys about. I saw Spearfish walking in, and I know most of those guys, and I'm like, hey, they're going to be a young team, so they're going to come out playing hard, and we got to take care of business. And no matter what, we got to come out and we got to play hard no matter what the score ends up, no matter who ends up in the game, what position you end up at, and really get ready for Tuesday.
And here we'll kind of talk about it too. Sioux Falls East won the first game against Runner. If they sweep, you guys would be in prime position to be the 4 seed and move up a spot. Obviously, you can still take care of your job here in game number 2. And who's that going to entail on the mound? And again, everybody's going to have a short leash, but who are the first, 2 guys that you're going to throw out there?
Bennett will be on the bump to start the game, and we're looking for him to go out there and just throw strikes. Look for Elliott Life to maybe come in on the mound. Jake Mayer could come up on the bump. Really, it's anyone that's eligible to pitch tonight could have a shot to get up there.
And that's the thing is, you have only 3 days off between now and that first round of the regions, and then between regional round and super regional round, you have a full week off. And then from the super regions to the state tournament, obviously, we'll have to get to that point. When we get to that point, you still got to win that region before we get to the super region to talk about what you're going to do pitching wise here. But it's kind of a somewhat of a taste of what we might see in that super region of pitching by committee, so everybody would be ready for the state tournament too.
Yeah, and that's one thing Coach White, Coach Zabel, and I have talked about is a lot. How are we going to set up our pitching? We got a game plan for Tuesday, regardless of who we play, and then going forward into that super regional, it'll look similar. But yeah, that's another one that we haven't talked a whole lot about yet, even though we want it to be. But so we'll see how the night ends up, and we'll probably know tomorrow by who will end up playing on Tuesday, because I know there's a number of different scenarios as as you spent your time today putting them together.
I got 2 full sheets of paper of just
about 12 different scenarios that could end up.
And that's just our games, Mitchell and Aberdeen and the Sioux Falls East and Renner. That's not even including other games that are happening across the state that don't have any bearing on us here tonight. But also want to make a mention here, too, of Lincoln Keenels. He went 2 for 4 with 2 runs driven in, a single and a double. He went those 2 innings, struck out 5 guys, didn't allow a walk. He hit one guy. But he made a fantastic play over at third base on the bare hand. And, I mean, every game in and game out, as this season has continued, the confidence level that he has grown, he's looking more like a junior and senior out there instead of a soon-to-be sophomore.
Yeah, and that was one thing early in the year. Coach White and we were expecting him to kind of take his lumps. Being a young kid coming up and playing with us, we were kind of expecting it. He knew that there was going to be a learning curve, and skill-wise, yeah, he was ready for it. It was just the pace of the game was a little too quick for him early, but since then he has done a tremendous job. And yeah, if you didn't tell people, oh yeah, he just ended his freshman year of high school, you wouldn't be able to tell by watching him play.
Yeah, it's more of a way to say. Well, what did you just say? That he ended his first year of high school, but yeah, he has looked really well. He continues to look confident, and the confidence continues to grow in Keenels through this season. So we go into game 2. Obviously, the weather could be a factor. I mean, we were able to get through that first game without any kind of hitches, but we saw a little bit of lightning out in the distance. But in a game that could be a little bit shorter, those first couple innings, just like they are in every game, but maybe more so in this one, is key to jump on them quick and to get that early lead.
Yeah, and that was what White was talking to him about. He's like, hey, weather, it's looking like it might miss us, but you never know in Pierre. And so that's what we talked to the guys about. Hey, you might not get a whole lot of at-bats depending on what the weather does, so let's take advantage of them early. You might not get a whole lot of opportunities in the field, so we got to make sure we're taking advantage early and really come out and try to close the door as quickly as we can.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck in game 2, and we'll be seeing you here Tuesday for sure, depending on who, and then it'll all depend on who you guys play. Appreciate it. Thank you. Coach Nathan Nas of Post States as they win game 1 9-0 in a combined no-hitter between Jack Van Camp, Lincoln Keenels, and Garrett Stout. As we will step aside for 3 minutes, and we'll have Zach Nelson's news to come up here after that 3-minute break before we get set for game number 2. You're listening to Post State Baseball. Today's KCCR and today's KCCR.